Welcome to another live stream. If you're new here, I'm Amelia. I'm an indie author and I am currently working on my pirate fantasy novel, Wrapped in Ocean. Hello! Nice to have you here. Let's see. I'm currently rewriting, so I have written the first draft of this story, and my second step is always to retype everything, and that's what I'm doing on these live streams. Ooh! I want to know more about your pirate fantasy novel. Pirates are amazing. I love them. A little bit too much, maybe. Oh, that's a good name. That's a really good name. Are they the pirate, or are they something else and just have a run-in with pirates or something? I'm always so excited to hear other people talk about their stories. I'm gonna talk in the meet. Oh, okay. Oh, stealing from the pirates? I love that idea. I feel like I haven't really seen that before, I think. I love it. So I am currently writing chapter 25. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. It kind of reminds me of the Metro 2033 book, because that has a similar thing in it. Have you started writing it, or are you just in the planning stage? That's nice. Have you written anything else, or is it like the first thing you're writing? I'm just asking you a lot of questions right now. I'm sorry, you can ask me to stop. I just get really curious. Ooh. That's nice. College. What age? Yeah, that's fairly young, I think. This book has like 5 main characters. It's kind of a big cast, but like the 2 main character is, one is Captain Jones, who is the pirate captain of the pirate ship the Locket, which has its own weird things going on. And the other main character is just the daughter of a businessman who transformed, or kind of like merged with an octopus to try to find Jones, because they've been sending bottled letters back and forth. And my character doesn't really know that it's a fantasy situation. So there are a lot of fantasy things going on, but the characters aren't aware of it. At least not most of them. And then there's also like this girl, Cordelia. Her uncle is also one of the point of view characters, because when she disappears, because people don't know she's transmutated into this sea creature thing, he goes to find her, and they end up meeting the pirates, and they have currently joined the pirates because the pirates kind of saved them during an attack. And then there's also one of the other pirates is also a point of view character, as well as this guy who is supposed to marry this Cordelia. But he also he shot Jones at a point, and he's kind of annoying, but he will have like this whole growth thing going on when he kind of realizes that not everything is like he believes it to be. And last week I wrote this very long chapter, actually, where they had just gotten out of a storm, and one of the pirates single-handedly got them out of the storm. It's a hobby I would love to be able to write full-time. I have published one book and kind of published a novella. It's just right now an exclusive thing for my newsletter. And I also have another book, hopefully coming out before the end of the year. It depends. It's taken longer than I wanted it to, but I try to write as much as possible. And maybe one day. Or I mean, technically now. Ooh. Animation is really cool too. I want to try to learn, but I'm also just like, oh, I want to learn to draw so that I can draw my own covers. And I think I'm gonna start with just drawing. I can imagine. Like, I only like watch videos about animation, but I can imagine it's really fun. I feel like drawing is also really fun, even though it's hard. I think all art things. Okay, but I feel like 19 seconds is still a lot, even if it's only sketched in 3 hours. Like, I don't even do like one drawing sketch in 3 hours because I am so slow and still a beginner. So I think that's really impressive, actually. And like, I understand if it doesn't weigh as heavy when it comes from someone who can't do the things, but for me it's impressive. Yeah. I think it's kind of good when you start with something to take your time, and then you can speed up the process instead of, learning bad habits. Because like other thing, yeah. I feel like it's the same with like learning an instrument, learning to dance. I used to take dance classes when I was a kid, and I do have education in music and sound engineering and stuff. And like I can be quick in writing songs. I haven't always been that way. Oh, that feels like it must be so much harder to like slow down. I do get it though, because I feel like in some cases I can be the same, to try to rush things, and then I have realized it's better to slow down sometimes, depending on the goal, of course. It's okay, it's really nice to just like talk to people, and it's really good training, because my social anxiety is always terrified when I see someone pop up in the chat that I don't know, and I'm like, so thank you so much for, letting me ask a lot of questions. But okay, I'm gonna breathe. I'm still nervous. I think this is like the 9th. It's the 10th live stream I'm having, and I'm still nervous every time. So at first I usually wrote like 3 chapters every live stream, and then I wrote 2 chapters the last week in October. And last week, since I had a really big chapter, I only wrote that. I will see how long I will write today, because I am... Oh yeah, it's so scary. I used to do like gaming live streams over on Twitch. I did like 3 maybe, and those were just so awkward. But I am having a little bit of a cold, so we'll see if I will go on for a long time. Maybe I'll just go for like an hour, 1.5. We'll see. But like I said last week, I did this really huge chapter that had them coming out of a storm, and they had to figure out where they were. Yeah, health is important. I would have wished that I could have written a lot more today, because I'm not going to be able to do a live stream next week, because it's my birthday, and I really don't want to be nervous at my birthday, and I will deal with my family the whole day, so it's probably better for everyone's sake. But we had also like some romance stuff. Thank you. I don't really want to think about having my birthday, because I feel like I am getting old. I'm turning 30 next year, and that's kind of crazy, because I still feel like 17. But the storm got them out near a reef, and like this place called Shipwreck Haven, and they decided that, oh, we need to wait for the first mate to recover, because he just brought them through the storm on his own. He kind of shot everyone under deck and just got them through it, and he was kind of hurt. Not too bad. I don't think he can get too badly hurt though. But they will need him to steer past this reef, both because he's very quick and precise to steer the ship, for very fantasy reasons, and also because, like, Reaper, the first mate, is kind of it's kind of this thing that the whole crew is like, yeah, nothing is a match for Reaper. He's terrifying, he handles the ship really well, and he's kind of scary. But he's also so skilled that the rest of the crew will at one point later be like, yeah, not even a goddess would be a match for Reaper. That's like what they think of him. And they will use this weird tactic to get past this reef. Yeah. Spoiler for the people who might be watching. I know I have a friend who doesn't want spoilers, and he sometimes shows up here. So don't listen to this. Reaper is kind of cursed to be bound to the ship, so Reaper and the ship is kind of connected, which is why he can steer the ship really well, because it's kind of like his own body, but also not. And he doesn't really get hurt unless the ship gets hurt. And it's kind of like this weird thing. It's also why he can't leave the ship, which is pretty much the only reason people think that he might be cursed. So it makes sense that he could actually steer the ship on his own since he's connected to it, but people don't know that, and every time it comes up, like, oh, maybe he's cursed, they're like, no. Things like that doesn't exist. Yeah, there is also one other cursed character who used to know Reaper. They used to be sail together before Reaper came to the locket. And he is currently helping Cordelia, who is searching for Jones. And he's kind of just aimlessly wandering the sea on this ghost ship as a ghost, because their old captain was a bitch. And did like a Freddy Krueger thing where when they killed her, she was just too angry to actually die, and kind of became this sea goddess instead. So that is really fun to have cursed characters, and it's extra fun when it's like, yeah, people are kind of thinking maybe, but they're also like, no, there's no logical reason. And I also, like, I really want that to come through in the book, that like you as a reader will get these hints that are always like explained away until you get to know that he's actually cursed. So I want you to be able to see it, but also like, oh yeah, maybe it could be this way too. I will definitely remember you if that happens. Have a good night's sleep. And it was really nice to have you here. And I would love to read your book in the future too, and see your animations. I will definitely want to see your animations. But have a nice evening. So we are currently waiting for Reaper to get back on his legs. The ship has slowed down to get Reaper up, and they are preparing to avoid this reef. And we are following Jones. Well, he is hiding something. this is one thing I actually had to change from the first draft, because the first draft was like, oh, sirens only target men, and that's why Jones just understands that Cordelia is, of course, not a siren. But then I started to think about the sequel, and part of the sequel will be to free the sirens, and like I already had sirens being a thing, like not in this story, so not in the timeline of Wrapped in Ocean, but the sirens are relevant for Crow and for Crow's backstory. So it's not like sirens doesn't exist. And at one point I was like, maybe sirens in this universe is kind of what Cordelia turned into, but no. They are similar, just that sirens are born sirens and merged sea creature humans are merged sea creatures and humans. But now instead I'm having like, oh, sirens doesn't exist anymore, because the first thing Crow did when she became the queen of the seas, or the first thing she did when she became the goddess of the seas, was to lock them away. Which I'm thinking will be one of the things that will be the focus in the second book, is to find and free the sirens. Because the sirens is kind of like, they coexisted with everyone. Sure, they, grabbed some sailors here and there, but they don't deserve to be locked away because Crow hated them. They kind of hated Crow too. Probably snatched a few men away from Crow, and also threatened her with what became her downfall. Kind of like the prophecy thing. And like sirens can predict the future in this world. And they can also just make threats. So when they tell Crow that her downfall will be when one of her men falls in love and turn on her, that Crow couldn't be sure that if that was a prediction or if it was just a threat, because sirens can lie. They are also known to lie, or used to be back in the day. So that's kind of what is happening. And that now it wasn't a prophecy. Canonly, it wasn't a prophecy. It was a threat. It wasn't an empty threat, because like the sirens knew how Crow treated her men and could probably like see with their own normal eyes, just like any other person could probably see that, like, you don't really treat your men the best way, so they might turn against you one day. But that was a side tangent about sirens. You will learn more about sirens in the sequel. so stupid. Of course, we need Reaper. We always need Reaper, but yeah. This was also something like I wanted to come across that Silver is terrible at working with other people. But I also didn't just want to state it, which is why I don't really think I've stated it until now. And this is after we've seen him try to work with Isora in the last chapter. And he's just too stubborn. I do think like maybe I should include more scenes where like the members of the Serpent sees Silver and Reaper try to work together on smaller things before this, because that is also something that like will come up, that oh, they don't get along, but somehow they work perfectly together in this case. And why is that when Silver is terrible? No one can work with Silver apart from Reaper and maybe Jones, but it will also come up the fact that like, yeah, they fight a lot, but when Silver decides on something, Reaper will make sure that it happens. Even if Silver can't do it on his own, Reaper will make sure that like, yeah, this is happening. Okay, really? What is... I just wrote lost with a 0 instead of an O. That's what the problem was. Ooh, I'm gonna change this to pirate name. Places the locket we have. Wood, Joker, Patch. I need a good pirate name. Just This should not come from Reaper. Or this should not come from Silver's mouth. And I love that. I do. I just love their dynamic. It's really fun to write, and it's really fun to read back too. So I hope it will be as fun for everyone else to read. Right. Okay. It's good. I included this in the first draft because I had kind of forgotten the fact that Silver is currently struggling to look at Reaper because Reaper is wearing Silver's shirt. Which doesn't look very much different from Reaper's usual clothes, but Silver knows that it's his shirt. Okay, this is a stupid question because we've already asked this in the last chapter. Yeah, we asked, do you have any idea where you've taken us? Okay. Okay, so that was one chapter, and I'm actually gonna like round things off for today. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm having a bit of a cold, or like I'm feeling it coming on. My throat is a bit itchy, so I don't want to overwork myself. But the next live stream will be on the 28th, because next week I am going to be busy with my birthday. So also, if you're like hanging around on Instagram, you should check out on Friday. It's this event over there. Of course, I forgot the name of it. Haha. Let's see. Human Voices Only will take place on November 21st. So next Friday, over on Instagram. I'm not sure if it will be on other places as well, but it's an kind of an anti-AI event where like artists and authors and voice actors will be posting a lot of fun things. Probably a lot of fun things. I will also try to do something for the event, because I really, really like the idea. So that will happen. And you will get a video from me. I have 3 coming up. I'm in the middle of editing, and one of them I am currently recording. So you will get videos instead. Maybe I can actually, post one on Friday instead of the live stream. We'll see. But next week, or next live stream, I will say, we will have a Cordelia chapter, we will have a Levi chapter, because the Cordelia chapter is fairly short, so I think we can do 2, at least. And then afterwards, we will see how my schedule for these live streams will be, because I will start to work in the beginning of December. My day job will start up again. So I don't know my schedule yet for that. But I will continue to do live streams. I just don't know exactly what time or day will work. It might be a week-to-week basis for a few months, or until this draft is written and I can move on to doing another round and then start looking into beta readers and things. So let me know if you want to be a beta reader for this project. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great adventure, and I hope to see you next week. Bye!